At the start of the movie, two women are seen in a cave deep within a dense forest. They meet a man there who urges them to quickly enter and purify themselves using the spring water. The women sit beside a pool and begin cleansing themselves, and we see that the pool is filled with snakes. Afterward, both women kneel before a tree and fold their hands, and as they do, an entity appears and begins levitating in the air. The old man initiates a ritual, cleansing them once more, and declares that nature will choose the next one to bear responsibility. He then folds his hands in front of the tree, and after a while, a leaf falls into Handini's lap. The man gestures for them to stand, and the entity reappears. We then see Handini in the pool, now surrounded by many snakes. After a while, she emerges from the water, and the scene cuts off there. Next, we see a show being performed, where a man explains to the villagers that it represents Paku Tanah Jawa. It is surrounded by 4 protective points. To the east lies Mount Lao, to the south is the Southern Sea, to the north is Gondho Mayat Forest, and to the west are Mount Merapi and Mount Teeter, both guarded by Kyai Selamet. According to Chief Sugoto Cardano, all good and bad deeds will be judged there, and if one commits bad deeds, their spirit will diminish. After this, a performance begins, and Handini steps down from the stage and starts dancing. Meanwhile, a scene in the forest shows a man running in fear, trying to escape someone. Handini glances up at the moon, and in the jungle, a snake is seen strangling the man's neck before the entity appears. Back at the performance, Ning, Handini's daughter, watches her expression filled with anger, and after a while, she gets up and leaves. Next, a group of men are seen talking, and it is revealed that Handini is a prostitute. Jarwo asks if they should do something about it, but Laura says that they should be proud their village has a Sindon like Handini. Later, we are shown that Kusno's corpse is in a very bad condition and is emitting a very foul smell. As the bathing ritual for Mr. Kusno begins, Ning's cousin Santi asks her if it's just her or if people are actually judging them. One woman whispers, outraged, about how the prostitute's daughter had the nerve to show up without any shame, and another woman adds that Mr. Kusno died after visiting Handini's house. Feeling hurt by their words, Ning gets up in anger, but quietly walks away without saying anything. Later, a group confronts Handini, demanding Mr. Kusno's documents, to which she warns them not to act like thugs. She then steps closer and asks if they really think she's afraid of them. After a while, Handini comes out with a bag of money and throws it at them, saying, "Take it." One of the men picks up the money and asks where she has hidden Mr. Kusno's documents. Handini replies that Kusno never brought anything to her, and they should be ashamed of themselves for coming here and making a scene with baseless accusations. Another man threatens her, saying if she insists on hiding the documents, he'll spread the rumor that Mr. Kusno died because of her. Later, Ning confronts Handini and requests her to stop doing stupid things, saying she understands that the men around her have ulterior motives, but everyone keeps looking down on them, and she even got branded as a woman of the night. Handini tells her not to listen to the rumors if she doesn't believe them, to which Ning questions how she can be different from a prostitute if she's someone's mistress. Handini warns her not to be impudent, explaining that not everything has to meet others' expectations, and that she has done many things for her sake. Ning insists she wants to know the truth, including about her biological father, but Handini tells her to forget it, advising her to enjoy what she has, and even though Santi is her cousin, it doesn't mean she needs to know everything. That night, Ning wakes up to knock at the door, and when she comes out, she finds her mother standing outside, who suddenly transforms into a demonic entity. Terrified, Ning wakes up in a panic, realizing it was just a nightmare. Later, Bowo asks Santi what's wrong with her aunt, wondering why she cancelled the upcoming performance. Santi replies, she doesn't know but is just following her aunt's wishes. Bowo complains, it's a waste of money, as props are being moved with no performance in sight, to which Santi reassures him that one performance hasn't been cancelled and asks for patience. After a while, Santi overhears Aang telling Handini that if they don't secure a gig by next month, they'll have to leave. Handini spots Santi, prompting Santi to quickly leave, and Handini tells Aang she's taking it slow to find a solution, mentioning that Kusno's death is a headache. Aang advises her to forget about Kusno and Dayu and focus on what Kanjeng Samanu asked of her, believing everything has happened because she hasn't fulfilled that request. Handini asks what she should do now that Kusno is dead, but nothing has changed. Aang suggests it might be because it's not what Kanjeng truly wants. The next day, Jaro stops Ning, and when she asks him what's wrong, he asks what she got from her mom, as she was with Mr. Kusno for a long time. Ning asks what he means, and he accuses her of playing dumb, pointing out her new clothes and questioning where Handini got the money, if not from Kusno. Ning insists her mom has a job and that she and Kusno were just business partners, to which Jarwo then claims Kusno died because of her mother, prompting Ning to tell him to watch his mouth. In response, he kicks her bicycle, causing her to fall. A guy named Jalu rushes to help her. Jalu escorts Ning to her house, where Handini thanks him. She then asks if they've met before, and he replies that he works at the studio but is new here. He mentions he's seen her performances, but she's never noticed him. Handini inquires if he lives nearby, to which he responds that he rents a place near the studio, though his parents are from Solo. He adds that he's an only child and moves around a lot. Later that night, we see Handini performing a ritual, and the entity is also present there. Meanwhile, the door of Jalu's house slams shut, and someone passes in front of him. The next day, Aang tells Handini she knows she's taking accountability, but urges her to find someone who fits the criteria instead of making everyone a victim. Handini asks what she should do, reminding Aang that time is running out. She then checks Jalu's profile, and a hopeful smile crosses her face. When Handini comes out, Santi notices the demonic entity following her and is terrified by the sight. Handini hands a letter to Jalu, and when he asks what it is, she simply smiles before walking away. Later, Ning arrives at the studio with lunch for Santi and shares her vivid dreams. She tells Santi that she saw her mother transform into a snake demon. Santi reassures her that they're just dreams because she is upset with her mother, but Ning insists she's serious, mentioning her mom's strange behavior, like eating cantilever flowers and lighting incense. Santi tries to calm her, suggesting it makes sense given her mother's dedication to their culture. Just then, a girl informs Santi that Jalu is looking for her, to which Santi asks for a moment, and tells Ning she'll take care of her job first. Meanwhile, a few people from Malaysia approach Bo'o, asking if he knows where Mrs. Handini lives. Bo'o confirms he does, but tells them to meet him here tomorrow at 9. Later, Bo'o meets Jarwo and informs him that some people from Malaysia are looking for Mrs. Handini. He speculates that one of them might be her husband and possibly Ningrum's father, but he doubts it. Jarwo ominously states that there will be a new victim, and when Bo'o asks what victim, Jarwo remains silent. That night, Jalu asks Handini why she wants to be close to him, to which she replies he's different, and when he worries about others' opinions, she insists their happiness comes from following their own feelings. Meanwhile, a chiluk seller encounters the demon and, frightened, abandons his cart and runs away. Bo'o and Jarwo hear his screams for help and rush to assist him, but when they arrive, they only find his cart left behind. They then spot Handini and Jalu nearby and start chasing after them. They reach Handini's house with a group of people and demand that she come out. Handini steps outside, asking what the ruckus is about, and Jarwo accuses her of getting cozy at night with someone. Bo'o warns Jalu not to be impudent, to which Jalu responds that's not his intention at all. Handini defends herself, stating that just because she is a widow doesn't mean they can accuse her this way. Ning rushes out, drawn by the noise, and Handini clarifies that it's not just the two of them. She says Jalu is visiting Ning because she's sick, to which Jarwo warns that if he catches her one more time, he'll end her. After they leave, Jalu apologizes to Ning for causing a disturbance with his arrival. Ning asks if he came with her mother, to which Handini explains that she bumped into him on the street, so they came here together. Ning gets up and leaves, and Jalu tells Handini that he has to go. Later, Santi notices Handini performing a ritual outside the house, and is startled to see that Handini's dress has changed. Suddenly, the demon looks at her, causing Santi to be thrown back. Ning rushes out, hearing her scream, but to her horror, she finds Santi has been possessed and is now approaching her, warning her not to get involved in her business. Handini hears the commotion and comes outside, expelling the demon from Santi's body. She then instructs Ning to take Santi back to her house. Later that night, Santi tells Ning that an old grandma followed them there, but Ning sees no one, and when she turns back, she's shocked to find Santi asleep. Perplexed, Ning decides to sleep, but soon hears strange noises outside, and when she gets up, we see the demon watching her. Ning steps outside and is startled to see Santi there, even though she had just been in bed. Scared, Ning approaches her, asking why she's outside, but then sees the demon there and finds that Santi is possessed again. The demon, using Santi's body, taunts Ning, telling her she can't do anything before rushing at her and trying to strangle her. Ning manages to push Santi away and runs out of the house, screaming for help. Villagers arrive, hearing her cries, and Ning tells them that Santi is possessed. The villagers manage to restrain Santi, and after a tense moment, the Kyai successfully expels the demon, and Santi collapses, freed from the possession. Later, Ning asks Kyai what happened to her, to which he explains that Santi has always been sensitive to the supernatural since childhood. Her late parents made many attempts to shut her third eye, but they always failed. However, in this case, he believes it's different. He explains that a malevolent spirit has been sent specifically to haunt Santi. When Ning asks if she will recover, Kyai reassures her that she will, and he promises to investigate the source of the haunting. Meanwhile, Handini visits Jalu late at night and apologizes for the inconvenience. When Jalu asks if there's anything he can do to help, Handini admits that she feels bad for making him uncomfortable, but can no longer explain her actions clearly. Overwhelmed, she hugs him, confessing that she can't deny her feelings any longer, and she wants him. She then pushes him onto the bed, climbing on top of him as the eerie presence of the demon looms in the room, silently observing the scene. However, after a while, instead of Handini, a snake is seen over Jalu, while the demon watches with a sinister smile. Simultaneously, Handini is shown performing a ritual, her expression intense as conducts the dark ceremony. When Jalu wakes up, he's startled to find himself alone in the room, his back aching, and as he checks his reflection, he notices snake bite marks on his back. The next day, Bowo brings the Malaysian guests to Handini's studio, where the man introduces himself as Dato Amir, and his assistant introduces himself as Fandi. Handini thanks them for coming, and explains her studio's clear training schedule, where artists focus on their expertise. She tells him that they can prepare the show that he wants, and invites him to watch a performance that evening. They watch the performance that evening, and Fandi tells Amir there's no need to visit other studios. As Handini dances, it feels as though she's dancing specifically for Amir, but after a while, Amir leaves. The next day, Aang asks Handini about her discussion with Dato Amir, hoping the deal goes through before something bad happens. Handini reassures her, but Aang questions if she has met Kanjang Samanu's conditions. Handini replies, she's working on it, to which Aang points out that it's not easy to get an only child with all the other requirements. Handini says it depends on fate, and just then, Bowo arrives and informs Handini that Santi has been possessed again. Next, Ning tries to calm Santi, but Santi glares at her and says, "Don't disturb me." She then pushes Ning back, laughs at Handini, and warns her not to break her promise. She then lunges at her, but Handini manages to stop her, causing Santi to collapse. Ning rushes to Santi and asks her mom what they should do now, to which Handini replies that she'll handle it, as she knows what's best for Santi. Aang enters with wooden restraints, and seeing it, Ning tells her mother that this is inhumane, but despite her protests, they proceed to restrain Santi. Saddened, as Ning begins to leave, the demon possessing Santi tells her that her mother is looking for a blood sacrifice. Next, Handini visits the cave again and meets Kanjang, where she apologizes for not being able to bring the child yet. Kanjang assures her it's fine, but emphasizes that she needs to ensure the child meets the requirements before the time comes. A boy who is an only child and had a breech birth, he instructs her to bring the child along with her magic amulet. He then hands her the amulet, explaining that later, it needs to be rinsed with the blood of her offering, and also reminds her that her time is drawing to an end. That night, Bowo asks Amir if he needs more time, to which Amir replies he still has many reports to finish. Bowo tells him he has to leave, and when Amir asks about the keys, Bowo says he can give them to Handini when she arrives. After Bowo leaves, the studio door slams shut, startling Amir. Perplexed, he gets up and opens the office's door to check inside, but the lights start flickering, and as Amir turns to look, a demon passes by. He quickly enters the office to investigate, but finds no one there. However, moments later, the demon appears behind him, and the other door slams shut. Amir is then pulled back, and a snake wraps around his neck, strangling him to death. Meanwhile, we learn that Jalu works for Dayu, who reminds him of the task she assigned before he reached the village. He assures her the plan is on track, and he's only pretending to gain Handini and her daughter's trust. Dayu questions his loyalty, calling him a gold digger, to which Jalu admits he needs money for his sick mother and debts. Though Dayu acknowledges his mother's illness, she doubts if it ensures his loyalty, accusing him of only choosing women who benefit him. She threatens to reconsider his payment, and Jalu angrily calls her crazy, reminding her he's risked his life for her. Meanwhile, Ning seeks Kyai's help again, who confronts the demon, demanding she stop bothering the child. The demon laughs and claims she was ordered to bring the child to her realm, warning him not to interfere. Kyai asks who gave her the order, and she replies, Ndoro Samanu. Shocked, he places his hand on her head and begins chanting prayers, and after a tense moment, he finally manages to expel the demon. Later, Kyai gives Ning a spear, telling her to use it only in emergencies. He explains it's the Paku Tanah Jawa spear, taken from Mount Teeter, and hopes it can help save those bound by supernatural contracts, including her and her mother. Ning asks about the contracts, and Kyai says they involve Samanu, advising her to find occult objects her mother may use for worship. He reveals that her mother is part of a dark cult led by Samanu, who can astral project. He warns that if her mother can't find a blood sacrifice for the contract, she will die, and she is currently searching for a blood sacrifice. Meanwhile, Bowo realizes that he left his house key and returns to the studio, only to find Amir's lifeless body there. On the other hand, Handini serves tea to Jalu and tells him that she will be waiting in the bedroom. In the next scene, Handini is in the room performing a ritual, and Jalu secretly observes her, and as he looks carefully, he notices Handini's skin beginning to transform into that of a snake. After a while, when he enters the room, he starts feeling dizzy. He then moves towards Handini, who lies on the bed, and when Jalu takes off his t-shirt, we see that his wound has spread considerably. Jarwo and Bowo arrive at Handini's house with the villagers, angrily asking them to wait outside while they search for Handini. They enter her room, and Jarwo comments on them being a perverted couple. Handini replies that she already told him she doesn't know where Kusno's documents are, and adds that she knows who the mastermind behind everything is. This angers Jarwo, and he tells them to go outside to talk to the villagers. When they come out, Jarwo tells the villagers they were right all along, prompting villagers to angrily shout to drag them down and strip them. Aang and Lura also arrive there, and he tries to calm everyone, suggesting they shouldn't prosecute them. Jarwo protests, saying they saw them having premarital sex, to which Lura again urges them to calm down, suggesting they can resolve the matter peacefully, and encourages everyone to return to their homes. After everyone leaves, Lura tells Aang he helped this time, but if it happens again, he won't be able to intervene and won't take responsibility if the villagers resort to violence. Aang thanks him and hands him some money, apologizing for troubling him so late at night. Meanwhile, Jalu sneaks into Handini's room and opens her box, taking out a knife to keep for himself. However, as he steps out of the room, he realizes Handini is standing behind him, who strikes him and throws him back into the room. Handini confronts Jalu, asking where he thinks he's going, insisting he belongs to her. Jalu gets up and tries to run away, pushing her aside, but is confronted by Aang, allowing Handini to knock him down. Aang tells Handini they need to hurry to Kanjeng Samanu, but suddenly, Jalu stabs Aang with the knife, causing her to fall. This infuriates Handini, who begins hitting him with a plank, and enraged, Aang repeatedly stabs Jalu with the knife until he dies. Aang then asks Handini what they should do now, to which she replies that she will go there immediately and beg for forgiveness. Meanwhile, Jarwo tells Dayu he searched everywhere but found nothing. suggesting that Handini really didn't get anything from Kusno. Jalu responds that their business is over, and when Jarwo asks for his payment, she tells him he failed, so there's no money for him. This enrages him, and as Dayu begins to leave, Jarwo strangles her to death with his handkerchief. Later, when Ning and Santi return home, they are shocked to find blood everywhere, and Ning tells Santi that tonight is the night of sacrifice. Meanwhile, Handini begs Kanjeng for forgiveness and pleads for his help, but Kanjeng reminds her that she has violated all their agreements and declares that he should be the one to kill her. As she continues to beg for forgiveness, the demon appears there, causing Kanjeng to loosen his grip and leave her. After some time, Santi and Ning reach the cave, and as Santi enters, the demon suddenly attacks Ning. However, she manages to draw the spear, causing the demon to release her and disappear. Meanwhile, Kanjeng accuses Handini of being a traitor, saying that bringing outsiders to this holy place is like sending her own life to be taken. As this unfolds, the demon lunges at Santi and Ning and tries to strangle her. In the chaos, Kanjeng slits Handini's throat, and enraged, Ning lunges at him, stabbing him with the spear. As he collapses, the demon releases Santi and screams in agony, and after a while, she disappears from there. Ning then turns to her mother's lifeless body, mourning her death. In her grief, she discovers the amulet in her hands, which she takes out and keeps for herself. Next, we see a woman dancing in the cave, and it's revealed that the woman is Ning, who is now half snake. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the chills, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss a scare. Until next time, stay spooky.